Hey, it's Alex here from iDESIGN Solutions to talk about littleBits. Now, littleBits are an electronic building block platform that basically have endless combinations, endless applications, uses you can make with them. You stack together the different pieces, the inputs, the outputs in different ways to send signals to different devices, different motors, different coding outputs, and that's how you build circuits, and that's how you see how circuitry is made. Now, the two kits we're going to talk about today, if you're interested in looking at littleBits and not sure really where to start, maybe which one's going to be better for you. If you're looking to more, real world applications, you're looking for to make a device, make a robot, something that's going to move, or if you're looking to make, a fun game, a fun coded application, something that requires a little more processing power. Now, the two kits that we have from littleBits are the Steam Student Set and the Code Kit. And we're going to go over some of the basic differences between the two kits, what you get in them, and then just the basics of littleBits themselves and how they really work. They're really fun to play with, really easy to get started. You can get them right out of the box, make some circuits, make some fun, cool, usable stuff around the house. So it's a really great way to get kids activated, get anyone interested in making circuits. So let's talk about putting just together a basic littleBits circuit. Now, one of the coolest things about littleBits is the magnets and the way that they fit together and easily break apart. So if you see here, I just have an input button and an output LED. Now they have two magnetic connections and they can only fit one way. So if I try to reverse it, it's just not going to connect together. So let's try to put together a simple connection where we put it to a power source, and then we'll throw a buzzer on there as well just so you can get a sound feedback. So we turn it on, and now when we hit the button, we get an LED and a buzzer sound. Now this shows you how the input is going into the outputs and how it's affecting whether they get the signal or not. And another way to demonstrate the difference is to just pop out this input LED for a slide dimmer. Like I said, the magnets just fit right in very easily. And you can see now as we increase the slide dimmer, the signal to the buzzer and the LED is going to go up just by a little bit as we increase. Sounds like a dying cat, but it's pretty cool. So this just shows a basic circuit and how you get to see a power directly to an output and how the input can affect it. Okay, so the first kit we're going to talk about today is the Steam Student Set. Now this kit is designed more for physical applications, making devices, basic machines, and simple things like that. It's going to have more DC motors, it's going to have wheels, mechanical arms to use. So it's really taking your electronic circuits and turning them into physical motion. And I'll show you more what that entails in just a second. So these are all the bits that are going to be included with the Steam Student Set. Now, one of my favorite things about littleBits is the fact that they color code everything. So if you see in the top left corner, the blue bits are for power. You have a USB and a 9-volt DC input as well. This gives you some options for portable devices and stuff like that because you can use a battery to power it. The pink bits are all going to be input bits. Now this either limits the signal, sends a different intensity of a signal, or repeats a signal in a pulse pattern. But these all control the different ways that circuits interact and that they receive the signals from the input. All of the orange coded bits are going to be wires or just simple connections, and they just bridge the signal from one bit to the other. And finally, the green colored bits are all of your output bits. So that's a small fan, a DC motor, a servo motor, a small speaker, a 2-digit LED display, and another RGB LED display. Now these all give you physical outputs, and these are all very useful to see what your code is actually doing and get your device to physically move. You also see in the bottom right corner that littleBits provides their own USB power supply. You can plug that straight into the wall, and that will power your circuit as well. The Steam set also features mechanical arms, wheels, mounting boards, zip ties, adhesives, small screwdrivers, and anything else you would need to make your ideal vehicle or launcher, whatever device you were thinking. Both kits come usable out of the box and with their own instruction set. These help you make a few different basic inventions with just the pieces in the box and show you how you can really get them using, and they also show you some other real-world applications similar to what they're doing. So right on the first page is a table of contents that shows you if you just wanted to see what the bits themselves do, or if you're ready to go straight on to inventions. you can see where you want to get started here. They do a really great job of breaking down every bit, the different settings on it, the different applications of it, and it's really good for getting used to the different bits and what they can actually do. But I really like, if you go towards the end, they have awesome instructions. And so the one we're going to make today is the throwing arm catapult launcher. And as you can see, they do a really great job of showing you the order of bits and a great big blown up image. But there's also step-by-step instructions and how to mount it to the actual board itself, as well as get the servo and the hub mounted too. Alright, so now we've got our launcher fixed to the mechanical arm, we've got our bits securely firm in the mounting board, and we have our launcher. So now we have our fully completed littleBits launcher, and we are going to send our friend the MakerBot ready to lift off. And it's just that easy. Now the next kit we're going to talk about is the code kit. And these are all the bits that are going to be included with it. Some of them are going to be same, some are going to be a little bit different than the Steam kit. And I'll go over some of those differences. Now obviously the main point of the coding kit is to get better with coding and learn how processing affects a circuit and the output of a circuit. Now the magic behind the code kit is in this code bit right here. It has a microprocessor at the bottom, 3 inputs and 3 outputs, and it's capable of doing quite a lot with the coding. One of the best ways to get your code to display and get it to operate a function is through the LED display, and I'll show you a little bit how that works in just a second. All of the code is done through a tablet, through a computer, and communicated wirelessly through this coding dongle right here, but you can also plug it in through a USB if you wanted to transfer it the old-fashioned way. Now the coding kit does come with a wider mounting board, and this makes it really useful if you're trying to make games or use something with your LED matrix display. Now I have a very basic one set up here, and you can find all the code and all the activity and instructions on the littleBits website or even in the booklet itself. So how the Tug-of-War game works is I have 2 buttons wired up to the code bit, which are then sending a signal to the LED matrix to display the Tug-of-War game. What I have right here are 2 power snap bits. What these do is if I attach them to the other inputs, it can communicate wirelessly with my USB power and send power to these 2 buttons to allow them to send an input signal. Now just to show you real quick how the game works, obviously I can't really beat myself, but as you hit the 2 buttons, the screen shows the different sides of the flags. And if you push it all the way, you see that one side will show a red arrow, and that indicates who wins. Now you can make this code a little more complex. You can have a countable variable, have it display a message after each victory, things like that, but this is just a really basic, rudimentary, fun game. Well, that's pretty much everything to talk about for a basic overview of littleBits. If you ever have any more in-depth questions, we'll be doing more webinars, and we can always be there for any help or support you may need along the way. We love to answer questions. We're also going to be releasing a series of videos on our other STEM products to look out for in case you have any questions about those. Thank you for watching.